There is a strange truth that most people only understand after years of delay, and sometimes not even then. It is that life does not change because you understand what needs to change. It only changes when your behavior finally matches what you already know. Most people already know what they should be doing. Deep down, there is very little confusion about it. They know what is wasting their time. They know what habits are pulling them backwards. They know what they keep postponing. And yet, knowing is not the problem. Action is. Because knowing is comfortable. Knowing allows you to feel like you are progressing without actually risking anything. You can think about change without experiencing resistance. You can plan a different future while staying exactly where you are. And the mind often prefers that illusion over the discomfort of real movement. But nothing in your life responds to intention alone. Your future does not shift because you meant well. It shifts because you repeatedly did something different, especially when it was inconvenient. And that is where the real divide in life exists. Not between intelligent and unintelligent people, not between lucky and unlucky people, but between people who act despite resistance and people who wait for resistance to disappear before acting. The truth is, resistance never fully disappears. There is never a moment where everything aligns perfectly, where motivation is constant, where energy is always high, where discipline feels effortless. That moment does not exist in reality. It only exists as a story the mind tells to delay discomfort. So if you are waiting for a sign that it will feel easier, you are waiting for something that is not coming. And if you base your actions on waiting, then your life will always remain in a state of preparation instead of execution. And preparation feels productive, but it is often just disguised avoidance. Thinking about doing something feels like progress, but it is not the same as doing it. Planning a change feels like direction, but it is not movement. And over time, people can spend years in that space, believing they are on their way forward while nothing in their life actually shifts. What changes everything is not intensity, it is repetition. It is the decision to return to the same action even when it feels repetitive, even when it feels small, even when it feels like it is not making a visible difference yet. Because real change is almost never visible at the beginning. It is slow, almost invisible, and easy to underestimate. That is why most people quit too early. They expect immediate transformation from early effort, and when they do not see it, they assume nothing is happening. But what is actually happening is that identity is being shaped quietly in the background. Every time you follow through, even in a small way, you are reinforcing a pattern. And every time you avoid it, you are reinforcing the opposite pattern. So over time, it is not your goals that determine your outcome. It is your patterns. And patterns are built in ordinary moments, not extraordinary ones. There is something uncomfortable about this idea, because it removes the excuse of needing the perfect moment. It removes the idea that someday things will become easier and then you will start for real. It brings everything back into the present, back into today, back into the decision in front of you right now, and in that space, discipline becomes less about motivation and more about identity. It stops being, what should I do today, and becomes, what do I repeatedly do that defines who I am becoming? Because every action, no matter how small, is a vote for the type of person you are building. And most people vote inconsistently. They vote for discipline one day and avoidance the next. They vote for ambition one moment and comfort the next. And then they wonder why their identity feels unstable. But identity is not created through what you declare. It is created through what you consistently do when no one is forcing you, when no one is watching, when there is no immediate consequence for delay. That is where the real version of you is revealed. And if you look closely at your own life, you will notice that the biggest gap is rarely between ability and inability. It is between what you are capable of doing in a focused moment and what you actually repeat over time. Because almost everyone can perform well temporarily. Almost everyone can push themselves occasionally, but very few people can maintain consistency when it becomes boring, repetitive, or inconvenient. And that is exactly where success is built.